Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Vedic Astrologer. My name is Rajat Kapoor. Today this video is about Venus's transit in its mooltrikona sign of Libra. This transit has already started on 30th of November, where Venus has moved out of its debility. Venus was debilitated all the while in the sign of Virgo, and it was also conjoined with Ketu, causing a severe affliction to Venus. Finally, Venus has moved out and has now entered in its mooltrikona sign of Libra, which makes Venus in a great dignity. And Venus is going to stay in its mooltrikona sign of Libra till 25th of December. In case you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, share this video with your friends, and keep yourself up to date with all the upcoming transit videos and videos related to Vedic astrology. And in case you wish to book a personalized consultation with me, you can check out the link to my website in the comments section and the process of reaching out to me. So Libra is the mooltrikona sign of Venus, which means it is its office space. Since it's the office space, it puts Venus at work. Libra is the 7th house of the Kalapurusha Kundi, the natural 7th sign. It is all about balance. It is about law and order. Libra as a sign and the 7th house represents partnership, marriage, harmony, relationship, those people who are opposite to you. Since Venus's affliction in the sign of Virgo, where it was debilitated and also conjoined with Ketu, was a significator of causing oppression, suppression, and all kinds of obstacles when it comes to relationship matters, harmony related matters. Venus as the planet is Jala Tattva, which is water element, and it plays a very important role in existence of all human beings. Our bodies consist of very high percentage of water, and this water is represented by Venus. Therefore, it plays a very important role in our survival. Let's understand Venus. Venus represents love, relationships, harmony of all kinds. Venus is the significator of interaction between all of us. Venus also represents women. It represents partnership, marriage, relationship, the planet of love, abundance, all kinds of luxuries and material comforts in this world. Venus is the Daitya Guru, and it also is the significator of the modern knowledge, the knowledge related to practical aspects of work, which means any short courses, executive education, courses that represents practical knowledge and implementing that in your real life. Venus rules all of that. While Venus is at work, love is in the air. So this is an optimum time to make the best of your relationship in order to mending those ties, in order to putting your focus back into your partnerships, relationship, harmony. Also an optimum time on luxuries and comforts in life and increasing all of that. This is the most significant and important transit towards the end of the year 2023, which is the month of December. We must also understand that during this transit, Venus is still under a Papakartari Yoga, or the sign of Libra is also under Papakartari Yoga, which is caused by Ketu on one side, which is in the sign of Virgo, and Mars and Sun on the other side, which is in the sign of Scorpio. In spite of having this Papakartari Yoga, Venus still is gaining a strong position or a dignity during this transit. It is still not a perfect or an ideal condition for Venus, but it is still not as bad as it was when it was in sign of Virgo. Venus during this transit is going to move through 3 different nakshatras. It is currently transiting in Chitra Nakshatra and is going to stay in Chitra Nakshatra till 5th of December. On 5th of December, Venus is going to move in Swati Nakshatra. Swati Nakshatra is ruled by Rahu. It is the nakshatra of high devotion. Lord Hanuman was said to be born in Swati Nakshatra, therefore it is the nakshatra of devotion. Venus is going to stay in Swati Nakshatra till 16th of December. During this transit, wherever the sign of Taurus falls in your chart and Gemini falls in your chart, it is going to demonstrate positive results, because these are the 2 signs where Rahu is said to be exalted. On 16th of December, Venus will move in Vishakha Nakshatra, which is ruled by Jupiter. Vishakha represents different branches of the tree. So it's an optimum time to increase your knowledge and learn something new. And Venus is going to stay in Vishakha Nakshatra till 27th of December. During this time, wherever the sign of Cancer falls in your chart is going to demonstrate positive results, because Jupiter gets exalted in the sign of Cancer. This transit of Venus from a cycle point of view is moving its focus from the 5th cycle to the 6th cycle. 5th cycle is all about future, children, love and harmony, and also a very progressive sign. It is moving its focus to prarabdha, duty, service, job, and all kinds of daily routine. So this is going to be the focus of the hour. The key message which is applicable for everyone in this transit is to put your focus back into your relationship, harmony, and your love life. And at the same time, it is an optimum time to do some sort of cleansing in your daily routine. Keep your surroundings neat and clean, because Venus is all about beauty. Venus as a planet likes cleanliness around. So the last month of the year, December as a month, is an excellent time to declutter all those things that you don't need and keep your house and surroundings, and particularly your workplace, very clean, the desk that you sit at, because Venus is in its office space in order to make the most of this transit. Now, who's going to have a maximum impact of this transit? If you're going through a Mahadasha, Antardasha, Pratantardasha where Venus is playing a role, you're likely to be impacted by this transit. If Rahu plays a role, if in case Mars is playing a role, Sun is playing a role, Ketu is playing a role, or Jupiter is playing a role, you're likely to be impacted by this transit. In case you have prominent planets in the sign of Libra, in the sign of Aries, because Venus from its 7th aspect of desire is going to be aspecting the sign of Aries. So you're likely to be impacted by this transit. Now, what does Venus's aspect represent? Venus's aspect is all about desire, and it is a 100% aspect. It is aspecting the natural first house of the Kalpurusha Kundali, the sign of Aries, which means Venus wants this world to focus on their own self, their overall personality, body, and what you have, your overall well-being. We also see intelligence from this house, which is the Dhi Shakti, and with intelligence comes knowledge. So this is going to be the focus of the hour that Venus desires. Now let's understand how this transit is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. From a practical point of view, physical point of view, you can read this transit from an ascendant sign, and from a mental point of view, you can read this transit from your moon sign. Let's start with Aries ascendants. For Aries ascendants, Venus becomes ruler of the 2nd house and the 7th house. Venus rules the sign of Taurus and the sign of Libra. This is your 2nd lord and the 7th lord. Venus for Libra ascendants is the ruler of family, accumulated wealth, your speech, because that is something we see from the 2nd house. 2nd house is also all about those things or people who you would like to protect. It plays a great role in family related matters and what you consume in order to sustain in this world. Venus also rules your 7th house, which is about marriage, partnership, relationship, harmony, those people who are opposite to you. It rules business for Aries ascendants. Venus for you is making a transit in your 7th house of Libra itself. Venus is the significator or Karaka for the 7th house. This means it is a positive and a promising placement as far as the transit is concerned. So this Venus is giving you a message that this time is optimum for you to put your focus back into your relationship, harmony, your married life or your partnership, and also growth and expansion plans as far as your business is concerned. This is going to be the focus of the hour. Venus from its 7th aspect of desire is aspecting your 1st house. Venus wants you to transform in terms of your overall personality. Venus is about beauty and abundance. It also represents the modern knowledge, so it wants you to learn, but at the same time focus a lot on how you carry yourself, the kind of clothes that you wear. This is where you would need to consciously focus if you were to be successful at workplace or in your life. Dress up well. If you dress up well, you will be able to deliver good results. Since there is also a Papa Kartari Yoga on your 7th house and also on your Venus, this requires a greater focus and support towards your partner. Make sure that you're there with them and you take good care of them. Now, from a family point of view, since Venus rules your 2nd house, this is your 2nd lord making a transit in the 7th house. So there is greater focus as far as family is concerned. So wealth creating opportunities where family is involved. So anything that you accumulate or save needs to be for the benefit of your overall family and how and what you feed yourself. You also need to be cautious of the kind of food that you indulge yourself into. Do not overindulge. That is something you must avoid during this transit in order to avoid any kind of health related repercussions. Now, during this transit, your 4th house is likely to demonstrate positive results. Your 2nd house and also your 3rd house to some extent is likely to demonstrate some sort of positive results. Overall, I say it is a positive transit and I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Taurus ascendants. For Taurus ascendants, Venus is an important planet because it is your Lagna lord. It is the ruler of the first house, the sign of Taurus itself. It rules yourself, your overall personality, your body, your inner intelligence, and who you are in this world. It also rules the sign of Libra, which is your 6th house. 6th house of duties, prarabdha, your daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. 6th house is also the house of competition. We also see job from the 6th house, so it plays a very important role in job change, getting a new opportunity, or things that you do on a day-to-day basis in order to sustain and survive in this world. 6th house, being one of the Upajaya houses, also plays a very important role in growth related matters. Now this Venus, which is your Lagna lord, is making a transit in your 6th house, which means it is naturally giving you some intuitive capabilities in order to build your intelligence over the next 25 days. On contrary, Venus is not considered auspicious in the 6th house because 6th house is its Maran Karaka position, which means when Venus is placed in the 6th house or is making a transit in the 6th house, it loses its significance. It requires you to put a lot more efforts in all Venus related matters. One of the things that I want to highlight during this time is those people who are married or those who have a relationship, your spouse, your partner, or those who are in a relationship, they will really go out of the way to help you and support you during this time. Make sure you listen to them. Make sure you take their advice. Well, they are going to play an instrumental role in terms of helping you in your day-to-day matters and also support you in your decision making. This is the ideal and the only remedy during this time. The other remedy is to respect women that are there in your life and your surroundings, whether it's at your workplace or in general. Do something for women. Make some donations with things related to women or female that is going to be beneficial and decrease any ill effects of Venus that could be there during this time. Venus is also your 6th lord, making a transit in the 6th house itself, which is creating a Viparita Yoga in transit, which means there is rise after a significant fall. The initial few days could really be struggling in terms of job related matters or if you were to look for a new opportunity. So you need to take it easy for the first couple of weeks and wait for Venus to move out and make a transit in your 7th house when Venus will be aspecting your ascendant. So this is the time when it will really transform your overall personality. So watch out for that. During the transit, your 1st house, 2nd house are the areas of focus that are likely to demonstrate some sort of positive results. So for your overall transformation and also for family related matters, this could be a positive transit. And at the same time, your 3rd house is likely to demonstrate positive results. Change is inevitable, it is going to be there, but this change will require you to surpass some sort of competition. Overall, I would say it is a mixed transit and I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Gemini ascendants. For Gemini ascendants, Venus becomes the most important planet because it is the only Yoga Karaka planet as per Brihadarashtra Horus Shastra. Venus is the ruler of your 5th house and it is the ruler of your 12th house. I always say that 5th house ruler is one of the most important planet in any chart. This is a basic principle that applies to all ascendants. Venus in its transit is transiting your 5th house, which is a sign of Libra. So this is your 5th lord making a transit in the 5th house itself, which means it is a sign of progression. It is a sign of moving ahead. Venus was causing some sort of obstruction when it was conjoined with Ketu in your 4th house because it really created some sort of discomfort in your life, some sort of instability and a sense of insecurity. Now is the time to move forward and plan for your future. Excellent time to make plans for your 2024 in terms of what your goals are and what your long-term thinking is. Because Venus rules the 5th house, which is all about future. It is about children. It is a very progressive house. This is where the king sits. 5th house is also about creativity, speculations. Put your money into some sort of speculative schemes or investments. Make sure that you learn before you take certain decisions. It is also your 12th lord, which is a house of expenditure, house of losses. This is also the ruler of higher self-consciousness, the house of sleep and all kinds of bed comforts, and it is making a transit in the 5th house, which is linked to future. So over the next few days, this transit is going to increase your expenditure, but this expenditure might be on things related to your comfort. So it could be things related to what you buy in your home. In terms of your vehicle related matters, there could be expenditure. So all the significations of Venus, which is jewelry, perfumes, vehicles, all kinds of luxury items, things that make you feel more comfortable. So those kind of expenditure are likely to increase, but this is going to be for your own benefit. You are likely to still feel very comfortable. Venus during this transit is going to have a positive impact on your 12th house. This might fix your sleep, or in terms of your bed comfort related matters, it is going to have a positive impact as far as your ascendant is concerned. So your personality is going to come out and help you influence other people, and Venus is going to have an impact on your second house. So quite supportive in wealth related matters or creating opportunities for a secondary source of income. This is an optimum time. Now Venus from its 7th aspect of desire is aspecting your 11th house. Venus desires outer world. Venus desires all kinds of material comforts and gains during this time. So make sure that you make the best use of this transit, because this is the time you need to expand your wider network, and Venus is supportive. In spite of there being a Pap Kartari Yoga, if your natal Venus is strong and if you're going through a favorable dasha, this time period can bring you some gains that you were not even expecting, and it could be quite beneficial for you. Since Venus is supportive of your 5th house, use mantras as remedies to support your Venus's transit during this time. Any mantras related to Lakshmi, Durga, Shakti or any female deity could be extremely valuable. You should also read Sri Suktam on a daily basis to support this transit. Overall, I say it is a good transit and I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Cancer ascendants. For Cancer ascendants, Venus becomes the ruler of the 11th house and the ruler of the 4th house, the ruler of Taurus and also Libra. Your 11th lord. 11th house is all about gains. It is about all the material things in this world. It is also about your wider social network, your friends, and we also see the capacity to influence others from the 11th house. However, 11th lord is not considered the most auspicious planet in the chart because it represents obstacles. It also represents some sort of competition that could be extremely challenging for the native. Since Venus also rules 4th house for Cancer ascendants, it is usually given a neutral position because 4th house is the house of comforts, it is the house of satisfaction, it is the house of mother. This is your comfort space, your homeland, where you feel most connected and most secure. This Venus is making a transit in your 4th house itself. Venus gains directional strength in the 4th house, or it is Digbali, which means there are blessings of the Digpala Devata. From that point of view, it is quite an auspicious and a positive transit because Venus gains directional strength. Secondly, it is making a 7th aspect in your 10th house, which is its desire. Venus desires you to fix your work life, fix your job, or the kind of business that you do, anything which is related to your actions in the society or in this world. So as far as job related matters are concerned, work related or business related matters are concerned, that are going to increase in terms of opportunities that are going to come your way over the next few weeks. So you need to make the most of this transit. In case you're going through a favorable dasha, this Venus would be extremely supportive in order to help you interact with the wider public, with the outside world, and particularly those people who are at your workplace. This is the time for you to shine and make your presence felt. This is going to be extremely important. Whatever you do, you must create visibility. You must make yourself feel present, that you are there. So make sure that this way you get the due credit of what you would be doing, because your 4th house is also under a Papa Kartari Yoga during this transit. Stay away from any sort of politics that is going to be there at your workplace. Focus on your work, goal, objective or the task and stay committed to it. You are likely to shine during this transit. Your 11th house, 12th house and the 1st house are likely to demonstrate positive results. So from a gains point of view, it is positive. There will be expenditure as well, but at the same time, you would be able to take control of your own self and focus a lot on your personality over the next few weeks during this transit. One thing that you need to focus on is Continue to establish good relationship with your mother and take care of your mother. Take her advice during this transit. That could be quite beneficial for you. Also, your partner is going to play a very important role in terms of supporting your home related matters. Regardless of their gender, you need to take advice of your partner during this transit. Make use of it. A good remedy for you during this time would be to keep a white flower plant at your home, particularly indoors, and take care of it each and every day or on a weekly basis. That could be beneficial for you. Overall, I say it is a positive transit and I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Leo ascendants. For Leo ascendants, Venus becomes the ruler of the 3rd house and it becomes the ruler of the 10th house. Venus for Leo ascendants is the 3rd house ruler, which is the house of change. It is the house of efforts, your younger siblings. We also see communication from the 3rd house. 3rd house is the first stepping stone when it comes to growth because it is one of the Upachaya houses. This is where change comes. This is where we start growing because we start putting efforts, and they are quite linked to each other. Venus also rules your 10th house, which is the house of career, work, profession, your actions in the society. This is the sign of Taurus that Venus rules. So it plays a very important role in job related matters, work related matters. Having a positive Venus for Leo ascendant ensures that your efforts are counted, and due to your efforts you get workplace success and recognition. Now this Venus is making a transit in your 3rd house. 3rd house of efforts, communication, any sort of change that gets triggered, and growth related opportunities. We also see short journeys from the 3rd house. Venus is aspecting your 9th house by its 7th aspect of desire. Venus desires you to focus on your dharma, religion, also long distance travel, because Venus is a significator of all kinds of air travel in this world. So it is likely that you might take some long distance journeys during this time, which could be quite beneficial for you. Also an optimum time to go for a higher education or higher learning course. So this is going to be extremely beneficial, particularly if it is linked to your work or the kind of job that you do. So it is an optimum time to upskill yourself. One of the things that you need to be mindful of as a Leo ascendant during this time is to take control of your desire. Channelize those desires, because Venus in the 3rd house, 3rd house is in a way connected to lust as well. So Venus really increases an individual's desires during this time. Make sure that you channelize it in the right direction in terms of your work or things that you do on a day-to-day basis. One of the remedies that you could do during this transit is, whenever you're starting a new work or doing something auspicious, have some yogurt. Any sour food is related to Venus. Either you can add lemon in water and consume it in the morning on a day-to-day basis, or you can consume 1 or 2 spoons of yogurt on a day-to-day basis, particularly when you go for an important meeting or a job interview, or you're starting something new. Make sure you consume some yogurt before you do that. You're likely to get successful. During this transit, your 10th house, 11th house and 12th house are likely to demonstrate some sort of positive results, which means workplace will receive support of Venus. You would likely to have gains as well, but at the same time there will be rise in expenditure. But then I always say, when expenses rise, so does the income. Overall, I would say it is a mixed transit. If you're able to control your desires and channelize it, it could be a positive transit for you. I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Virgo ascendants. For Virgo ascendants, Venus becomes the ruler of the 2nd house, which is a sign of Libra, and also becomes the ruler of the 9th house. Venus plays a very important role in wealth related matters, because 2nd house and 9th house represent Lakshmi. 2nd house is about accumulated wealth, your income, what and how you feed yourself, your family, those people or things who you would like to protect. 9th house is all about fortune, long distance travel. It is also about higher learning. It is about father or father figure, or we also see guru or a mentor from the 9th house. Venus for you is a yoga karaka planet, and it plays a very important role in growth related matters, because when fortune favors, things become easy for an individual in order to achieve success. Now this Venus is making a transit in your 2nd house, 2nd house of family. The lord of the 2nd house is making a transit in the 2nd house. So this is a time when Venus wants you to put your focus in ensuring that there is harmony in your family. and you focus on things related to family and what you consume. So that is something which you need to take care of as well from a remedial perspective. Do not get into any kind of overindulgence and have a balanced routine or a diet during this time. This is also your ninth lord, which is making a transit in the second house, which is causing a natural Dhana Yoga in transit. So in case you're expecting an increment, appraisal, bonus, or any sort of financial gain that is either related to your knowledge, learning, or related to your job, and where your family plays a role, you're likely to be benefited during this time. Venus is going to be aspecting your 8th house by its 7th aspect. Venus very clearly desires transformation of all kinds during this time. If you transform yourself, you are going to increase harmony within your family life and also support you in your higher learning and taking up a course or two that could be quite beneficial for you in the coming months. During this transit, 3 important houses are going to demonstrate positive results, which is the 9th house, 10th house and the 11th house, which means fortune, work, and also gains that would be quite supportive during this time. Also from a remedial perspective, you need to worship Lakshmi, Durga, Shakti or any form of female deity during this time. Chant mantras related to them. You're likely to indulge yourself in good food during this time, but make sure that you follow a balanced approach or a routine during this time. Another important piece of advice would be to watch what you say. Take care of your speech because the second house is undergoing a Papakartari yoga. Venus is in a supportive transit in your second house. So make sure that you're consciously soft spoken at all time, particularly with your family members, those who you love or you would like to protect. Also with people in your external world, or if you travel, avoid getting into any kind of unnecessary arguments or quarrels. Now it's the time to talk about Libra ascendants. For Libra ascendants, Venus is again an important planet because it becomes your Lagna Lord. Venus rules your ascendant, which is yourself, your overall personality, your intelligence and who you are. Venus also plays a very important role in terms of ruling your overall immunity. Venus also is the ruler of the 8th house for Libra ascendants, which means Venus also rules longevity in your chart. Sudden ups and downs, sudden changes, transformation. This is what is seen from the 8th house. 8th house is also the house of hidden secrets, hidden knowledge, things that are related to occult sciences, mysticism. We also see Jyotish from the 8th house. Any research related work is seen from the 8th house. This Venus, your Lagna Lord, is making a transit in your ascendant, your first house itself. Please remember, such transit comes once every year for Libra ascendants. So this is the time for you to make the most of it, as it is quite a blessed transit for you. Venus is your first house lord, your Lagna Lord, the ruler of his self, making a transit in the ascendant. The message is very clear that the focus is on your own self in order to build your own personality, your immunity, vitality, and take care of your physical as well as mental well-being. Venus is going to bring in huge scope when it comes to interaction with other people in your life. Your ability to create an influence on the wider audience outside of your comfort zone in terms of interacting with the wider public. So this is the time for you to really step out of your comfort zone and shine. Last few days, the condition your Lagna Lord was going through was quite weak and afflicted due to a conjunction with Ketu and being debilitated in your 12th house. But this is the time when Venus from your ascendant, it is making a 7th aspect to your 7th house. It desires you to put harmony and balance in your married life relationship. For those who are looking forward to getting married, this could be a potentially favorable time. If you were to start your business or if you were to put your focus on your business, this could be a potentially favorable time once again. Venus is also your 8th house lord. The lord of transformation is making a transit in your ascendant, which means that any transformation that comes during this time, any changes that come during this time would be comfortable and pleasant at the same time. The significator of love, harmony, relationships, also abundance and luxuries is making a transit in your ascendant. You're likely to get interested in all these things in life. One of the things that you need to be mindful of is any kind of indulgence that you must avoid for your overall well-being. Have a balanced routine. Focus a lot on your personality and how you deal with others. This is going to play a very vital role in terms of getting you some success at your workplace and also support from people who are opposite to you. During this transit, your 8th house, 9th house and 10th house are likely to deliver positive results. Change is going to be good from a fortune perspective, also from a perspective of long distance travel. Many such journeys could be beneficial for you, and at the same time you're likely to shine at your workplace as far as the second half of this transit is concerned. Overall, I would say it is a good, promising and blessed transit for Libra ascendants. I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Scorpio ascendants. For Scorpio ascendants, Venus becomes the ruler of the 7th house and the ruler of the 12th house, the ruler of your marriage, partnership, relationship, harmony, those people who are opposite to you. We also see business from the 7th house, and any kind of agreements are also seen from the 7th house. This is also the ruler of your 12th house, the house of losses, expenditure, your sleep and overall bed comforts. 12th house plays a very important role in building our self-consciousness, developing and reaching a state of higher self-consciousness. As much as Lagna is your mental strength, 12th house is the ability to build on your mental strength and further increase your self-awareness through a continuous discovery learning approach. Now this Venus is making a transit in your 12th house itself. The 12th lord is in the 12th house. This is creating a Viparita yoga in transit. That means there is going to be a rise, but after a significant fall. 12th house Venus is generally considered good because Venus feels comfortable in this house. If from a natural point of view, you will see Venus gets exalted in the sign of Pisces, which is the natural 12th house. Therefore, it is its comfort space. But at the same time, in this house, Venus really increases the expenditure. And this is something that you need to be mindful of over the next few days, particularly expenditure related to your partner, expenditure on yourself as well. This is something you need to be mindful of. Focus on savings, focus on planning for the future and try to curtail your expenses here. Venus also being your 7th lord is making a transit in your 12th house. You need to be careful during this time in order to not have any sort of conflict which could be detrimental to your relationship. Put your focus back there. In a way, I would say that you could face circumstances where your partner really goes out of the way to help you and support you during this transit. Listen to them and take their advice in whatever you do. Make them a part of your decision-making process, which will give you confidence during this time. This is something which might be decreased over the next few days. So you need to be cautious of it. Your 12th house and Venus place there is under a Papakartari yoga, which also is supportive from a losses point of view. It will avoid you to get into any kind of situation where either you have a loss or a halt in terms of your income. One of the remedies that you need to do during this time is make sure that your feet are clean and you wear a footwear that is clean, because 12th house represents feet and Venus is making a transit there. So this is something you must be careful of during this time. Take care of your feet, also manage your footwear accordingly. And another remedy would be to watch your footwear at home and make sure that they are all organized, put in a clean and an organized manner. If you have a shoe rack, so make sure you clean it, and at the same time just ensure that your footwear are organized. During this transit, your 7th house, 8th house and 9th house are likely to deliver positive results, which means there will be support from your partner for your own transformation, and any long distance journey that comes during this time could be potentially favorable for you. It could be enjoyable for you. Overall, I would say it is a mixed transit, but as and when time would pass, this is going to get better. I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Sagittarius ascendants. For Sagittarius ascendants, Venus is one of those malefic grahas which rules the 6th house and the 11th house. It becomes a potent malefic graha for Sagittarius ascendants. I have said this in my previous videos as well. For the Jupiter ruled ascendants, Venus is a potent malefic, and vice versa. For Venus ruled ascendants, Jupiter is a potent malefic. This is the ruler of competition, debts and diseases, focusing on your health, your daily routines, which is the 6th house. This house also plays a very important role in growth related matters. We also see competition from the 6th house, and at the same time we also see intelligence from the 6th house. Venus also rules the 11th house. 11th house is 6th from the 6th house. Therefore, it also represents enemies. At the same time, from a material point of view, it is the house of gains. It is the house of all things material in life. And it also represents your friends, the wider social network, and how you influence and take charge of other people. Therefore, Venus in any case is the planet that brings opposition, competition of all kinds for Sagittarius ascendants. This Venus is making a transit in the 11th house. Now, from a transit perspective, any planet that is transiting in the 11th house or any planet that is placed in the 11th house, most likely they deliver a good result from a material point of view. And Venus, for that matter, does very well in this house. But at the same time, this transit, Venus is also going to bring in a lot of opposition, a lot of enemies that you have to be careful of. So take it easy for the next 25 days because you're likely to face some sort of opposition, competition that you were not expecting. If you have a strong natal Jupiter in your chart, you will come out with flying colors. This is also your 6th house lord making a transit in the 11th house. Competition is likely to bring gains in your life. You need to fix your daily routine. You need to focus on decluttering the things that you have in your house, and also particularly at your workplace, keep your surroundings neat, clean and tidy in order for you to support that Venus lets you shine at your workplace. This could also be a potentially testing time when it comes to friends and your relationship with your friends. You might be surprised in terms of understanding some of the people that you are not able to. So be prepared for it and try not to come into any conclusion. Avoid any kind of unnecessary arguments when it comes to friends and keep a low key for this to pass through, and then you can come out in the open. During this transit, your 6th house, 7th house and the 8th house are likely to deliver positive results, which means that there will be competition. Your partner could play an important role to support you in this competition, and at the same time you are likely to transform yourself. Any transformation is always painful. Transformation comes with a set of opposition. So you need to win over your opposition in order to have a good and a successful transformation. Overall, I would say it is a mixed transit, but from a material point of view, this could be a good transit towards the later part of it. I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Capricorn ascendants. For Capricorn ascendants, Venus is one of the important planets because it is a Yoga Karaka Graha for Capricorn ascendants. Venus rules two important houses. One, it rules the 5th house, which is a trinal house, a very important trinal house, and 5th lord becomes one of the most important planets for any ascendants. It also rules your 10th house. 5th house is all about future. We see children from this house. It is quite a progressive house because this is where the king sits. This house and the lord holds a kind of authority. We also see mantra and prayers from the 5th house and certain remedies that come from this house which are linked to your better future. It also rules your 10th house, which is the house of career, profession, job, or the kind of work that you do, your overall actions in the society. 10th house is the most important Kendra house. This Venus is making a transit in your 10th house itself. From a 5th lord point of view, making a transit in the 10th house, it is a natural yoga in transit and very supportive when it comes to work related matters for your future. If you were to apply for a new job or if you're looking for bigger and brighter opportunities, this is your time to maximize over the next 3 to 4 weeks in order to make the most of this transit. This is also one of those yogas in transit which we can link to a Simhasana yoga, which can give promotion, elevation and certain success. Condition if your dasha is supportive during this time. Condition if your Lagna Lord is in strength in your natal chart and you have a strong and a positive Venus in your natal chart. You should also spend time at your workplace to influence people by your interaction. come out in the open. Certain female colleagues at your workplace could be extremely supportive for you during this time. So make sure that you make the most of it. If you're a male, then your spouse could play a very important role in terms of your work related matters and success. So make sure that you take her advice or suggestion. During this transit, your 5th house, 6th house and the 7th house are likely to demonstrate positive results. So from a futuristic point of view, you would want to focus on your daily routine, your daily tasks and things that you do. And it is also linked to your job. And then your partner is going to play a very important role in terms of helping you during this time. It is one of those promising times of the year which will really set the benchmark for success. As far as any work related matters are concerned, there is expansion. Due to the Papa Kartari yoga of Ketu on one side and Mars and Sun on the other side, there could be certain delays that you might see as far as your work related progress is concerned, but Venus's transit is again overall quite positive. Venus is going to be aspecting your 4th house by its 7th aspect of desire. Venus desires you to bring harmony in your life, and that is how you feel more comfortable. Also a harmonious relationship with your mother. You need to reach out to her. And at the same time, do certain things that make you feel happy, that make you feel content. There will be rise in expenditure. You would want to spend on luxury and comfortable items, but for your own satisfaction. And this is how the transit is going to play a role. You will also be supported by the public. Considering if you speak up, you need to bring yourself out in the open, step out of your comfort zone. It is the time for action. That is how the month of December is for you. I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Aquarius Ascendants. For Aquarius Ascendants, again, Venus becomes a very important planet and a Yoga Karaka planet for Aquarius Ascendants. Why? Because it is ruling one Kendra house and one trinal house. Venus is the ruler of the 4th house as well as the ruler of the 9th house. Aquarius Ascendants have a karmic association with Venus because for these Ascendants, Venus rules the house of mother and it also rules the house of father. Therefore, we call Aquarius as one of the karmic signs. Venus rules your 4th house, the house of satisfaction, your comfort space, where you feel most protected, your mother or your homeland. And at the same time, those things that make you feel happy, that make you feel content. Venus also rules your 9th house, 9th house of Bhagya, fortune, long distance travel, higher learning, your mentor, guru, father or a father figure. It is one of the most important trinal houses in the chart. It is very well linked or connected to your past life, karmas from the past that are going to fructify in your present actions. This Venus is making a transit in your 9th house itself. Please remember, Venus only makes this transit once a year. So it is an optimum time because your Bhagya is supportive, your fortune is supportive. And when fortune is supportive, you can achieve anything in life because there would be no obstacles. There is certainly a Papa Kartari yoga for some time on your 9th house, but by the presence of Venus, since it is in a great dignity in its mooltrikona sign, you are likely to be favored condition if you're going through a favorable dasha. At this time, your Lagna Lord is also transiting in your Lagna itself, which is already bringing a lot of discipline, a lot of transformation in your life. Venus is going to support fortune. Any long distance journey that you take during this time could be good for you, beneficial for you, and might bring some sort of comfort because Venus is also your 4th Lord. You need to connect with your father, listen and discuss with them, have a word. Or you need to connect with your guru or your mentor and take their advice, which will always be a good advice because Venus from here is aspecting your 3rd house, which is the house of change. It is also the house of Guru Upadesha or the kind of message your mentor gives to you. This is the house of efforts, your younger siblings. So this will also be the focus of the hour because Venus wants you to bring certain harmony as far as your younger sibling is concerned, and any matters of change in your life or communication is concerned, that is also going to be the focus of the hour. You must worship Lakshmi, Durga or any form of Shakti during this time because this could be supportive in wealth creating opportunities as Venus is creating an important Lakshmi yoga during this time. For those who are looking to purchase either a house or any sort of conveyance, a new car, this could be a potentially favorable time from a transit perspective, because the Karaka, also the ruler of your 4th house, is in a great dignity during this transit. So if there are certain decisions that you need to make, this could be the potential favorable time to make that purchase for you to be comfortable in the long run. During this transit, your 4th house, 5th house and 6th house are likely to demonstrate positive results. There is satisfaction, some sort of comfort, which is very good for your future. That will help you build and fix your daily routine and things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Overall, I would say it's a good, promising transit. I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Pisces ascendants. For Pisces ascendants, Venus becomes the ruler of the 3rd house and the 8th house. I have again said Jupiter ruled ascendants, Venus is a potent malefic, and vice versa. For Venus ruled ascendants, Jupiter is a potent malefic. Here Venus becomes the ruler of the 3rd house, which is the house of change, efforts. We also see growth from 3rd house because it is one of the Upachaya bhavas. We also see lust of all kinds from the 3rd house because this is the natural sign of Gemini, which is 3rd, or Mithun Rashi. Venus also rules younger siblings for you and communication of all kinds in your chart. Venus also becomes the ruler of the 8th house, which is the house of longevity, sudden ups and downs, changes, transformation, places across the sea, other languages or unknown territories. This is also the house of uncertainty, such is its influence. 8th house also plays a very important role in uncovering hidden knowledge or secret sciences such as occult, Jyotish sciences, and all subjects that have a lot of research in place. Now this Venus is making a transit in your 8th house itself. 8th Lord transiting in the 8th house is creating a Viparita Yoga in transit. That means things could become extremely difficult for you over the next few days, but eventually if you stay resilient, you are likely to rise during this time. You would feel that a lot of your efforts are going wasted. You might need to put 5 times more the efforts than required, but do not shy away from it because it is moving you towards a brighter direction. For your own transformation, that will be good in the long run. Transformation comes with pain. Transformation comes with a lot of agony. It also comes with opposition, but then you need to accept. Avoid any kind of resistance to the change. Try and accept it. Embrace it with open hands. You will feel that the change is welcoming and will make you a better person. Venus from here is going to aspect your 2nd house by its 7th aspect. Venus's desire is to bring harmony and some sense of ownership when it comes to family related matters. That could be the priority. Also focusing on your source of income, accumulated wealth and savings. So this could be the focus of the hour. The only remedy that you need during this time is watch what you eat and watch your speech. Try to be as soft as you can. Try to have a command with a lot of poise and eloquence in your speech. Try to practice it consciously, because during this time there could be a significant number of people or those who you know. They're going to come for your advice. They're going to come and share their secrets, talk things in open. Please don't let this affect you in a negative manner from a psychological point of view. Try to help guide these people because you're likely to become an advisor during this time. Focus on creating a secondary source of income by either starting a new line of work, or if you can use this time to put a plan in place for a secondary source of income, that could be a good way to channelize your energies as well. During this transit, your 3rd house, 4th house and 5th house are likely to demonstrate positive results. It will require you to put more efforts in place for your own satisfaction and in order to get out of your comfort zone for your better future. Your children are going to be supportive during this time, and this is where you will see some joy as well. Overall, I would say it is a mixed transit and I wish you the very best. So this was about Venus's transit in the sign of Libra, its mooltrikona sign, and how it will have an impact on all 12 ascendant or moon signs. I hope Venus's transit brings harmony, love, peace and abundance in our life, and may we continue to grow and shine. Thank you very much. God bless you all.